not sure what happened. It was likely a moose, although there aren't really any tracks leading up to it, but you can see right here where the poor bastard stopped on a dime. He might have gone over it. Hopefully he didn't hurt himself, or she. It's usually the female moose actually at this time of year that's in the driveway, but you can see the gate is all fucked up. It's all bent out. You know, that part's retractable and it has a bolt that holds it in place. I guess if I drilled that bolt hole all the way through, right now the bolt just puts pressure on it so it doesn't come open, which kind of sucks. I probably should put holes all the way through so the bolt goes all the way through at the spot that it needs to be at. But yeah, the moose was probably coming down here at 100 miles per hour and hit this gate, and he hit it so hard that it pulled this out and the bolt came out, or at least the arm extended. He must have hit it pretty freaking hard. There goes the DOT. They're gonna pave the road here next year, so they're getting it all prepped this year. Yeah, it's crazy. That moose must have hit this thing pretty hard. Well, this is one of the 2 watermelons I successfully grew this year, and it smells so good. It looks like it's going to be a good one. It grew kind of weird, but these are my friend Brett's icebox watermelon. He grew them a couple years ago, and I took seeds from one of his watermelon, and this is the second time I've grown them now. Man, it smells like candy watermelon. Really strong watermelon smell on this one. I'm gonna enjoy that. This is gonna be a super epic sunset. There's like a nice layer of clouds at like the perfect spot. Got the fire going, trying to burn some brush. Getting a little windy, so I'm gonna try to keep it small and safe. Hopefully the wind dies down over the next couple hours. Usually does at sunset. And it's gonna be a nice sunset though. Another couple minutes, that's gonna all turn like crazy colors. And that cloud layer is gonna be nice. Oh yeah, the fire is getting crazy. So is that. Sunset is going crazy. It's gonna be wild. If I step over here, you can actually see the sun. It kind of blocks things out. Oh yeah. Winds are blowing though. Oh Lord. Control this with a water bucket. That's calmed down. That's only getting crazier. Looking epic. Just crazy. The sky like changes. Insane. Definitely get great sunsets from this spot right here. Epic. Totally blessed when it comes to this spot. Every single night. I mean, when there's no clouds, it kind of is just like a regular sunset, which is still nice. But when there's clouds, a little bit of cloud cover, it can look really crazy. It has to be cloud cover, but not enough cloud cover that it goes to the horizon. And then it will be really crazy. This isn't even as crazy. In another like 15 minutes, it's going to get pink and everything. It's going to be crazy. I'll bring you guys back. Okay, the thing is a little out of control. Worried about it lighting the pile. I just felt a raindrop. But man, that is looking crazy now. Layering up pretty good. Looks nuts. That's a nice one. Every time the wind blows though, this thing gets crazy. I was looking at this and I looked over here. Man, there's like this big like crazy glowing orange cloud sneaking up from the side. It's insane. Yeah, it's weird. Some of the sunset light comes. Oh yeah, that is rain. Damn it. It's gonna rain on me. At least it'll keep the fire under control. Put this brush on there. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes there's some clouds glowing over there. Man, it's looking crazy. A lot of depth to it. A lot of craziness. Look at that. Can't paint something that crazy. Oh no, this is getting crazy. Now it's like starting to clear up over there. You get some like blue coming back in. It's crazy. Clouds are still spreading out over there. Yeah, it looks crazy over here though. Nuts. And you can hear the train. The train goes by almost every day during sunset. Sometimes they're a couple hours late. But I think he plans his trip to pass this area because I think he can see the sunset for like 20 minutes of his ride if he times it right. He's got a good view. There's no trees in his way because he's along the river. So he can see along the whole river the sunset as he pulls up this area. Yeah, it looks crazy. Like, man, these guys are nuts here. Man, this is a good one. I'm glad I started this fire and came out back. Like, from the cabin, you can't see this because you're in the woods. You have to come out back to the highland. This is nice. This thing's getting crazy. I gotta burn all that brush, though, safely. It's raining a little, so it's pretty safe. I don't know. I'm not gonna get enough rain. Those leaves put off too many embers. Man, it's looking crazy. You can never see how pink it really is on these cameras, like this video. You can't see it. Like, you can kind of see it a little, but it is crazy pink right now. Like those areas that are glowing on the shot, in real life, they're just like glowing pink. They're not like so orange. Yeah, it's a pretty nice one, that's for sure. I think this guy's gonna eat this grasshopper. But I probably blinded him. The wind is cranking today. Probably all you can hear. I just put a clear coat on the shed. Man, it looks so good when that coat is fresh. I wish it would hold that color. Next time when I do this next year, I'm gonna do it with a light stain. So hopefully we can get it to come out to about that color and stay that color. Because it usually only stays that color for a couple weeks and then it starts lightening up. Man, oh man. Dirt in my paint tray, that sucks. I have to clean that. The wind is crazy right now. It's going nuts. Canvas tent in the background. Tomorrow we'll break down the greenhouses for the season, put them in some Tupperware containers, and tonight my mom's coming up to bring me some of my stuff from her basement, and we're gonna have dinner together, and she'll probably crash up here for the night. And then I'm gonna put an order in. She's bringing me a little money so I can put an order in. I'm gonna build another shed behind the cabin. This thing looks beautiful with a fresh coat on it. So nice. Well, I guess you can see, kind of. But it is August 26th today. And like I said, my mom's coming up to have dinner and stuff. But she's going to stay over, and tomorrow morning I'm going to go to town with her car that runs a little bit better than mine. And clean all the laundry that have for the summer. And I have 2 sets of bed sheets, which both of them are dirty. And the ones that are on the bed are really dirty. So I think I'm going to take this net down though, because it's August 27th. We should have mosquitoes for another month. But there are only a very few mosquitoes out at night. For the most part, the mosquitoes are done for the year. Because we had a drought this year. It was so hot and dry. They're pretty much gone. And any mosquito that comes out during the day, the dragonflies are like on the major hunt. They don't have enough food this year, so any mosquito that's out in the open, the dragonflies get. So I guess I'm going to pull this netting down for the season. It's crazy to be taking it down a month early this year. But that's pretty awesome. I mean, it is nice having it around the bed because you don't have to worry about weird creatures crawling into your ear while you sleep. And just, you know, all the things you have to worry about being this deep in the woods. You know, a lot of spiders and weird bugs in the cabin sometimes. Some weird larvae looking bugs sometimes. So I do worry about them like getting on me and shit when I'm sleeping, which just does prevent that, but it's a pain in the butt having that up. And especially once we start running the stove, it's, you know, you need to be able to get up and out of bed easily and stuff. You don't really want stuff like this hanging over the bed in the winter. So I'll probably take it down pretty quick here and strip all this stuff down and clean it tomorrow at town. And then we'll be all getting ready for winter. This snake had a cricket, but now he wants to like fight me for some reason. You see him in there? It's his little head. Right there. He's like in fighting mode. He had a cricket though, I just wanted to see him swallow it. It was a giant cricket. But he spit it out and then he turned on me. And he's like all angry. It's a grass snake and they're not venomous, they don't even have any teeth. So he's just freaking puffing up his chest and trying to be all big and mean. And he's so little. I could snap your little neck in a second. Jeez. Tough guy. But I was hoping to get a video of him swallowing this cricket that was like 4 times the size of his head. It's gonna be awesome. And now he's all pissed off, so I guess I should probably just leave him alone. He was opening his mouth really wide before. There you go. You're on YouTube now, buddy. Is that what you wanted? You just wanted to be famous? Oh, that's all you wanted, huh? Alright, well, good luck. I'm not gonna eat you. I know you're probably confused. But I was never gonna eat you, so next time we see each other, just remember that. See ya. Well, August 28th. Cutting a big pile of wood again today. I have a little pile of logs over there. I want to get them cut up so they can get a couple more months of drying before it gets too cold and wintry. And I guess the plan this year is to cut as much wood as I can up here by camp and cut up all this stuff that I had dropped in the spring. And then once it starts snowing, I'll split this and have it all under the tarp here. And then once it starts snowing in like late October and November, I'll go out into the woods and I'll start cutting all the dry standing. I have like a bunch of dry standing here and there. Some of it's pretty far, but we'll just cut it up out in the woods and then haul it in the sled. And all the dry standing stuff is what I'll cut up and burn first at the beginning of the season. And I'll keep all this stuff to dry. I'll keep all this stuff to dry until when the snow gets really deep and I can't get dry wood out of the woods anymore, then we'll start using this stuff. Well, it's kind of windy. I don't know if you can see that over there. It's a green pumpkin. I was cutting the grass over there and there was a vine that I didn't think had a pumpkin on it, so I cut it back. Try to clean up that plant, because I haven't seen any pumpkins, and that thing was way over in the shrubs, over in the bushes over there when I pulled on the vine, so that sucks. It's probably not going to turn orange. Probably had another couple weeks to go. But I gotta look through there and find the pumpkin, but I was using this grass whip and the handle broke. I left it in the weather this summer a lot. So, I'm fabricating a new handle here. And I don't have any glue right now, so I'm just gonna duct tape it on. So I gotta go find some duct tape and duct tape this on. But I wanna clear all these weeds here that are going to seed in this side yard. Get that all cleaned up before they go to seed. And then it will be, I'll rake it too and get it all out of there. So the seeds aren't all laying on the ground, they'll all be in a pile somewhere. And then the side yard will be all cleaned up for the fall. Things are starting to get pretty cold up here, so shouldn't have too much more growth going on here. Sunflowers are looking epic. Some of those pole beans. September 3rd. That tree turned like 3 days ago. That was the first tree. But as of this morning, this is the first day you can really see that like all of the trees have started. So September 3rd, 2020, leaf changeover started. We'll see how crazy it gets over the next couple weeks. I'm clearing another area. There's an area over there where I have a big pile of sticks or like branches where someone fell a tree at one point, and I've been trying to slowly clean them up. They're like in the ground. So it's kind of a pain getting them all up, but I'm trying to get it all cleaned up and clear over there so I can run the lawnmower over it real quick and try to keep that all clear around the outhouse there, and start pushing back some of the trees there and making that little opening there into a little bit bigger of a field. But yeah, 80 degrees today. It's been cold the last couple days, but today it's really nice. But it's been getting cold at night too, so winter's coming. So I'm trying to tidy up the yard the rest of the way, and then the next 2 months will just be cutting as much firewood as I possibly can. Lawnmower's working out though. Things look much nicer back here when it's all mowed and looks all clean. Garden's on its way out though. Maybe we'll take a look at that, but I only have like tomatoes and kale and maybe 1 or 2 squash left. Whatever these little trees are, they're like the first to turn. They look nice with all the green leaves around them still. Over the next 2 weeks they'll all turn and fall. And then we're gonna cut some more of these trees down and cut some more firewood. And that's what I'm doing all day today. I've been cutting firewood. Kind of kinked my shoulder, but I dropped that big dry elm tree that we were like trying to cut down this winter, but we didn't end up cutting it down. I got that cut down. It did fall in the road, so I had to clean that up real quick and get it out of the road. But yeah, just cutting wood. It's beginning of September, so I'll be cutting wood the next 4 weeks. Try to get the rest of that 4 cords I need. It's really nice out here this time of year. Well, potatoes are all harvested. That's what's left of the garden. I just harvested the first cabbage, and I have 3 of them. This is the smallest one. So I'm gonna slice this up and fry it in the pan until it's soft and mix it with hamburger and just eat this one that way. And then the big one, I'm gonna try to make some sort of boiled dinner, but I might wait until somebody comes up. Or maybe I'll invite one of the neighbors over. But first time I ever grew cabbage, so it's nice. This thing is solid, rock solid. The other one is twice the size of this, and they're all rock solid. So I'm excited. First year with cabbage. I'll definitely grow more of this next time. It grew well out here, even in the drought. Joe helping me pull a piece of fire log out the woods. Nice. Well, September 10th. I don't know if you can tell, the leaves are starting to change. We're down here at the well, and we're gonna grab our last bucket of water from here, and it's gonna start raining the next couple days, so for the most part we should be fine with just the rain collection for the rest of the season. So I'm gonna grab a 5-gallon bucket of water out of there, which is only about 10 gallons in there. The water line's even below the holes where water comes in. So water's really low in there anyways. So after I get the 5-gallon bucket out of there, I'm gonna bleach this hole. This plastic bin we used has a little bit of mildew at the water line, or where the old water line was and all the way down. You can even smell a little mildew when you open this. That's from using the plastic. If I had a cement ring, it probably wouldn't do that, which I gotta figure out how to get a cement ring down here, because this is my spring water. So I want to put a cement tile right here at some point, but as you can see, it will not be easy getting that tile down here. I really can't get a piece of equipment down here. So anyways, I'm gonna get this 5-gallon bucket of water out of here, and then I'm gonna put a lot of bleach in there and bleach this spring out. basically shock this spring. And I'll put the bleach water all around the whole. Just finished lunch. Cabbage, tomatoes, which I only ate half of the tomatoes, and some beef, and a little bit of feta cheese. Cabbage and tomatoes are from the garden. September 15th. I'm just working on firewood every day. Got the solar power out there charging all the batteries and the tablet so I can watch some stuff at night. Starting to get dark pretty early. Like I said, September 15th, I haven't been filming much lately because my computer was full, the memory was full, and then the 2 terabyte card I had was full from recording stuff all summer. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, everything was full. And then also I ran out of data on my plan because I've been watching a lot of news on YouTube lately because it's been crazy lately. The closer we get to the elections, wilder it gets. But yeah, I had no memory and I had to wait until I ordered a 2 terabyte drive. It came and then it wasn't prioritized for a Mac, so I had to wait until I could get on the internet to download that system. And then I can back everything up. Yeah, anyways, it was a whole nightmare of not having any memory. So now we got that fixed so I can start filming, and we're getting to the time of the year that I was really looking forward to filming. I didn't do much filming this summer because I was just doing what I did last summer, doing the gardening, which, I filmed some of that, but for the most part, pretty much the same kind of content we did last year. And since I didn't really do much for winter videos and I kind of was back and forth from up here and down where my family lives, this year I want to focus on the winter. And we just switched over from gardening to cutting firewood again. And we're going to be cutting firewood the next couple months. And I got a sled coming to replace the deer drag sled, another deep sled like what I had in Brownfield. And yeah, just prepping for winter. You got that feeling right now that like winter is coming, and I'm just cutting firewood every day as fast as I can because I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough. And last year was a really, really mild winter, and it was pretty easy to deal with out here. And I even skipped the worst months I was down south. So yeah, you get kind of that nervous feeling. You're getting ready. The season's changing. In the next 2 days, we're going to have our first hard freezes. And yeah, I'm going to start firing up this wood stove soon. So as soon as I start firing that up, it's just consuming wood from now until next May, basically. So, yeah, that's what I'll be doing. But I'll bring you guys out, and I'm still trying to find a cheap snowmobile. I don't have a lot of money, but I would like to still find a snowmobile, so I'm on the lookout for that. And I might have to trade something that I have of value for one if we have to, because I do want a snowmobile. That'll make things way more entertaining, a lot more stuff to do during the winter if I have a snowmobile. And I could probably get around this property, make a trail with the snowmobile around the entire property. That would be cool. So then I could have kind of a trap line out there if I ever wanted to, and have like an easy route for it, all worked up with a snow machine. So yeah, anyways, I'm out here. I've been out here. When did I get up here? February 28th. I still go to the store once a week and get groceries, and I just wear a mask. And yeah, I was just editing the videos from the beginning of the pandemic, and I was definitely going crazy. I thought that this was maybe going to be the end of the world. Now that we're this far into it, I'm not afraid of it pretty much at all. I do have lung problems, so if I got it, it could end up being problems. But now it's basically with the treatments and everything that we have in the U.S., it's about twice as dangerous as the flu. It's not much more dangerous than that. It's like a 0.03
chance of you dying. So that's pretty low. That's a lot lower than 1%. So, and 1% was already pretty low, I think. But we'll talk about that later on this winter. But this winter we're going to have a lot of time to talk and do what we do in the winter, which is like sit in this cabin and keep it warm. And on days that the weather is calm, we go out and try to collect firewood and do some hunting throughout that. But it should be a nice winter. Gonna try to do the whole thing. We'll see how crazy it gets. If it's a heavy snow winter like it was a couple winters ago, it'll get crazy. If it was like this last winter, then it won't be that bad. But 2 winters ago, they had like 8 feet of standing snow, which is above the windows on my cabin. So I don't know how I would deal with that much snow, but we'll see if it gets that crazy.
Well, here's all the wood I've put together the last 2 days with the Katana Boy 650 and that splitting axe right there. Still got a couple more pieces to chop up. There's the rest of that dry tree we were trying to cut down. You know, we cut those trees down at the beginning of spring. The first trees we took down with that Katana Boy. And then we left this big one standing as it was going to fall on the road. I was going to wait until I had a chainsaw, but I ended up cutting it down with the 650 earlier this week, and my neighbor helped me drag it up here with his tractor. That's a nice piece of dry elm that burns really hot. So all the dry stuff I'm going to process and stack on the porch. And that's for starting fires. And this stuff is semi-dry. Hopefully by the time we go to use it, it will be at least half dry. But it's still got a little greenness to it. Definitely got to be on more wood in the spring next year, because at least half of my wood I'm going to end up doing in the fall, and most of it will be dry standing, but there's some green stuff too that I'm going to end up cutting this fall. And I'll either be burning it green, or maybe we won't end up having to use it, but I'm going to cut it anyways just to make sure I have as much as I can get. Might even buy a load of wood if I find someone around here who has a load for a good deal. It'd be nice to have an extra couple cords just in case. Just cutting wood. That Katana Boy has really done a good job. I mean, I have pretty close to 3 cords all cut up, all done up. So that's pretty good. Still need about 1.5 cords to go, which I think I'll be able to get to before it starts snowing really bad. Just chopping, cutting, sawing, chopping, hauling out of the woods. Fall though, nice time of the year to be doing it. It's a perfect time to be out here. So beautiful. Look at that tree. See that red? Yeah. It's beginning, it's really dry. It was a drought year, so it's not changing like it did last year. Last year we had a really fast, like crazy change. Since we're so far north, if there isn't enough water, a lot of the leaves will die before they change. So we'll see. This tree is all green next to the cabin still. All the trees right here at the cabin are pretty much green still, so we'll see how they turn over the next 2 weeks. I'll just be standing here making power and cutting firewood. All the resources I need right here. Well, just putting the Katana Boy away and cutting up some stuff. I'm trying not to do too much cutting today. My arms are killing me from yesterday. But I'm at the point where I cleaned up everything, and now I'm hauling more logs out of the wood again. Which I'll spend like 2 or 3 days hauling logs out of the woods, and then I'll spend 2 or 3 days chopping them up. And I'm gonna get to this dry one too, probably tomorrow. I'm gonna let my arms rest for a day. I pulled that saw all day yesterday. Got another full tier going, which is pretty sweet. Each time I get a tier, it's pretty much 2 weeks of firewood. So I made about 2 weeks of firewood just yesterday, which is pretty nice. I mean, not yesterday alone. Yesterday alone I cut it up and split it,
but it was a lot of work getting it all out here to begin with. But still gonna process this dry wood down, and all the dry wood that comes from this log here we're gonna stack on the porch on the other side of that one, and we'll leave it stacked on the edges there, and then snow won't be able to blow in onto the porch, and I'll have some wood there. I might find some sort of like cover too for it. Thinking some sort of like small tarp. I don't know where I'd find a tarp that small, but I'm gonna try to find something for both sides so it'll stay dry. Yeah, so just cutting wood. September, year's gone by so quick. It's been a crazy year. Still is a crazy year. The next couple months leading up to the election is just crazy. It's so crazy. I can't believe America is this crazy right now, actually. Yeah, well, I'm just holding in there out here. This is a good year to be out here, though. This is a perfect year because I don't really have to deal with any of the craziness that's going on. I'm just able to hang out here, and my only mission now is to cut firewood now that the gardening's all done for the year. I just gotta cut lots of firewood and save my money. The wind is really cranking, and you see some of the trees are changing. The wind is blowing. It's gonna rain tonight or tomorrow morning. Sun's setting back there. Some weird clouds tonight. Should look pretty cool. But the wind is beating the canvas tent up pretty bad. It's been windy for a couple days. So we'll see. I might have to take it down, and then if someone comes up and wants to use it, we'll just have to set it back up. But look, the fly ripped. That one line on the fly ripped off. So that sucks. The plastic on the tarp too is kind of brittle and like flaking and stuff. So this is this is like the third full season that it's spent up in its lifetime, and it's been put out for 7 seasons, but not all of them were the whole season, you know. So pretty much 7 summers though the fly's been on here. So I think that's longer than the guy originally even told me. I think he said every 5 years you need to replace that. So pretty much it's time to replace it. I don't know how much that's gonna be. I'll have to go on the site and check. But the canvas is still doing fine. So hopefully if I replace the fly, we'll get another 5 years out of both of them. But I might want to put that thing up soon if it's going to be this windy. I don't want the canvas to rip. Have to do a patch job. My pockets on my jacket are full of tomatoes right now. It's going to freeze. Tonight actually it's going to be okay, but tomorrow it's going to freeze. And then it's going to freeze for like 3 nights in a row. Man, the sun moved over so much from this spot. Only a week ago it was right there. Now it's all the way over here. Things moving really fast now that we're getting close to winter. I can't see anything. The whole thing's blocked by those trees. Right here, I'm going to clear this out so I have more room to do more tomatoes next year in the 30-gallon pots, because that went really well this year. I got a lot of tomatoes off of those 3 pots I have over there. So next year I'm going to do like 8 pots, I think, of tomatoes. And then we're going to put hog fencing from here all the way around here and going around. And this whole like thick bush area we're going to put a couple pigs in. Hopefully I'll be ready to do that next year. If not, it will be the year after that. But hopefully by next year we'll have that going. That's going to be the little hog area. Have a couple pigs in there and butcher those at the end of the year and get them in a freezer. We'll see how things go.
Should be a really nice sunset, but I don't know, the sun's moved over so much. Trees
It's blocking all of it.
Well, September 18th. See, some trees are changing. The big tree by the cabin is starting to turn. It just started to rain. I'm getting this sled full of wood together so I can fire up the stove in the canvas tent and burn that off one more time and boil some water for a shower. I might cook food up there too because I'm out of propane. I don't want to start the stove in the cabin yet. So, still too warm for that. It'll get really hot in there. So yeah, I'm gonna go get this water started. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use for water. I have some rain collection water. There's a lot of nasty stuff floating in it, but I guess if I could skim off the top and just boil the water, it should be fine for a shower. Still gotta cut this big log up. But yeah, this tree hasn't even started turning yet. That one's looking pretty cool. Yeah, the leaves are definitely changing over here. Crazy. Canvas tent. Gotta put the cap back on. Wind blew it off the other day. The wind is really bad the last couple days. I can't believe the canvas tent is still standing actually. So that thing has definitely been through a windy season this year and has no problems. Well, I mean, it had problems with the fly ripping, but that fly is like getting dry rotted, and you know, it's been like at least 7 seasons I've used that thing. Yeah, the trees are turning, looking crazy up in here. But another like 2 weeks it's gonna look empty and bare. Yeah, getting the fire going in there. This is like the 3rd time, so after the 3rd time the stove should be pretty much burnt off and it should be safe to burn the stove with the windows closed at night. You know, you just gotta get all that paint and weird stuff off that they put on those stoves. Get some water boiled. Get some water collected and then get some water boiled and cool it down, and later tonight take a shower right before bed, get cleaned up. And yeah, probably about 2 weeks away from starting the fire in the cabin, and once we do that I'll just be heating all the water up over there. But it's still too hot right now. It just gets so sweltering hot every time you light that stove in the cabin until it's like 30 degrees outside pretty much constantly. It's just too warm in that cabin when you light that thing. Man, these trees are just crazy. Like the last 2 days they've changed so much. I was worried they weren't even going to change. I thought that because some of the leaves were falling while they were still green because of the wind we were having. But last night must have got cold enough because it looks crazy. That tree right there is nuts. It sure is beautiful up here at this time of year. This is the best time of the year up here. And get this project going. Oh, it's a beautiful sight. See the leaves changing and the smoke coming out of the cabin, or out of the canvas tent. Beautiful down here. Man, that tree's on fire. Well, water should be warm. I'll let it sit behind the cabin and cool down, and once it gets to a good temperature, strip down and get out back there. It's cold out tonight. So hopefully I'll keep the water pretty warm. I heard something in the bush just do something. Kind of loud too. Wonder if there's a moose hiding in there. Well, I'm on the way to town to get groceries, and I should have pulled the camera out, but there were 3 giant cows in the road. These people were trying to get back to their farm. They were some sort of long-haired cow with really big horns. They were walking down the center of the street, so I pulled off the road so I could get by them. I wasn't sure if the cows might get scared and
horn my car or something. I should have taken a picture of them though. They were really nice looking cows. Really long blonde hair. It looked cool. Yeah, I'm going to town, get supplies. It's Friday. Every Friday I'm going to town now. Temperatures have dropped a lot. We'll talk about that when I get back home. Oh no, the wind's kicking up. Oh, blowing that flame right at me. I just got back from the store. Cooked some fried chicken in the side yard right now. Getting rid of these stumps. I dug them up, and the alder stumps, they grow on the surface in wet water, so I was able to get all those up in spring. But these are all the maple stumps, and then whatever this tree is. I'm not sure what this tree is. Very distinct bark, and they didn't fruit this year, but last year they had some flowers and berries on them. They're pretty cool trees, but they're like the maples. They root in really deep, and it's really hard for me to get at them. You know, I cut that whole thing up, and it's still attached underneath a lot. I mean, when I kick it, it doesn't even vibrate at all. So I'm just gonna dig down as much as I can around it, and then I'll start a fire in there, just like there is here, and I'll burn them down to ground, at least ground level, and then cover it back over with dirt, and then I'll be able to mow this part of the side yard. I'm trying to get this so I can mow this area and get grass like there is over there. I'd like to have some grass here, so once I bring animals in. Right now this really thorny seed stuff is growing here, which you don't want that. Animals can't eat that, and it's like prickle birds almost. So I want to get this so it's grass, so eventually when I have goats and animals, I can have them eating it. But yeah, Friday night, gonna just sit here and burn a couple stumps. I think I can get both of these stumps burnt out today. So that's what I'm working on. Getting close. I never would have imagined I would have cleaned up all the little pine branch pieces from when they were logging this property. You couldn't even walk through this area because there's so many of these things you'd get caught up on. But now they're all gone. So I'm starting to pull brush out of that pile that's got those vines growing all over it. There's a bunch of brush under there from in spring when I was cutting these trees down. So I'm surprised I have to dig that up already. Finish burning these logs. But now the yard, I just need to go through and try to even it out with a metal rake as much as I can. And then by next spring, I should be able to get it down flat enough that I can mow all of this and keep it mowed next summer. These two stumps are on their way out. Later this weekend, probably try to do that stump, and then next week maybe do this stump. And then this whole area will be freed up. And look, that pumpkin. That's the vine that I cut that early pumpkin from earlier this season. But that's the only pumpkin that got really big. And it's even turning yellow on the other side. I mean orange on the other side. And there's a pumpkin behind that stump too, which I detached from the main vine, but the vine over there has rooted itself in. So it's pretty good. As you can see, the cold already killed all the leaves on it, but these pumpkins will finish off on the vine over the next 2 weeks, even though the leaves are dead, and they'll turn orange. So get a pumpkin for the kids to carve up this year. Sunflowers are still rocking, but they're on their way out. Everything else is pretty much on its way out. It's September 20th today, I think, or the 19th or 18th. Yeah, 18th. So 4 more days until the beginning of autumn. And as you can see, the trees are already fully turned in here. Well, let's be done this burn soon. Oh, there he goes. He's so fast. I don't know if he's a shrew or a mole, but I'm pretty sure a mole doesn't move that fast, and he does have like an extended nose. So I think they're called a shrew mouse. I'm not sure what he is, but he's so small. He's like a quarter of the size of a field mouse, and that's pretty much full grown. I can't find him now.
You might have heard me talking. But I see those all over the place, and they don't get into the mouse traps, and I don't want to trap them. The field mice have been out of control this year. I've killed like 60 of them. But I try to keep this guy out of it, and he hasn't gotten in it yet. Oh, there he is. He's somewhere over here. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he goes. He's fast. He's a fast little guy. But he's cool, and he's native, and he's a mouse we want on the property. He's not gonna get into things. He lives off of the land. But the goddamn field mouse, or barn mouse, or farm mouse, whatever you want to call it, is a disaster. And it's making a mess of things. Someone dragging a trailer down the road. Almost got these stumps done. This one probably only have to put a little more wood on it, and then as it goes out, it should ash out the rest of that stump, at least down to ground level. And they definitely won't be sprouting anything anymore. So, 2 stumps down, 2 more to go that I'd like to get rid of before winter comes. And I have a big pile of debris from when we were cutting trees this spring. Oh, one of my neighbors are here or something. That little pile. That's the cucumber plant that was on the porch. Just cut it down. I keep on forgetting to grab the camera while I'm doing things. You know, kind of this summer I took off. I mean, I filmed all summer still, but I did a lot less than I usually did. I didn't really do it YouTube style. So I'm kind of getting back in the groove of filming everything I'm doing. You guys can get a grip on how fall and winter is out here. But it's September 20th, and last night was the second soft frost. It wasn't really a hard frost. It was like, I don't know, like 38 degrees, close to 40. It might have dropped down to 35 like at one point in the night for like an hour or something. So it didn't really freeze, but it kind of killed a lot of the plants off that can't take that kind of a weather. Like these green beans, which are already dead. Surprisingly, the mouse haven't taken all the seed, but I'm gonna grab all those pods that are yellow and crush the seed out of there. So we have plenty of bush beans for next year. That kale is doing fine, but that kale won't wilt until it drops down to 28 degrees. Neither will the broccoli or the, in the back there, that's some Brussels sprouts. So the sunflowers pretty much made it. Corn pretty much halfway died. Squashes are all dead. Green beans are pretty much on their way out. These pole beans pretty much on their way out, which I didn't really eat any of these. I left them all on here, and they're huge now. But I'm not even gonna get seeds from those. I'll put those in a pile somewhere where the squirrel and chickmunk and stuff can get to them. But I didn't really like the flavor of those pole beans. I might grow a couple every year just because they make the garden look real pretty, having that vine on the side. But I don't know, I really won't eat those, so I'm not gonna grow as many as I did this year. Those are the good beans. The bush beans are the ones that are like string beans, or like beans that like you would get in the grocery store in the produce aisle. Those are the good ones. But yeah, just getting up and getting to work. Those stumps are not finished burning, but we got them down pretty low, and then we'll do one more fire on them, I guess, and see if we can get them a little lower. But yeah, it takes a lot of burning to burn a stump. That's not the way you want to do it. You really want to bring an excavator in, like a digging excavator, and you dig around it, and then use the bucket to pull the stump out. But yeah, I don't have any equipment right now, or access to any, so we're burning them. But I'm gonna go organize the shed and get it ready for winter. Well, I haven't made it to the shed yet. I got distracted. Ended up picking up the shovel. You know, resources are pretty valuable. I don't want to burn all my pit firewood burning up all these stumps. I'm still going to finish burning those two, but this one's even bigger than both of those, and it would probably take way too much wood. So time and physical labor I have lots of. Resources are limited, so I'm gonna save those resources so I can have more pit fires this fall in the pit. And I'm gonna dig this whole thing up. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to do it that way, but the sand around it is pretty loose, so I think I can just get in there and dig every root up, and I'll hack it out with a hacksaw or with a bow saw and cut those roots back, and then I should get down to the point where it's just that one tap root at the bottom, and hopefully if I knock it around with a sledgehammer it'll come up, and if it doesn't, then I'll have to just try to cut that tap root at the bottom, which can be a pain in the butt. I've seen guys split it a bunch of times with some splitting wedges so it peels back, and then you can hack it off with a machete or an axe at the bottom. So we'll see when we get to that point. But right now I'm just going to be digging it all up all the way down to all the roots, and then cutting the roots back with a bow saw. And then I'm going to go to the shed. I need to organize the shed and get it ready for this winter, and put some traps out because there's some mice being assholes in there as usual. Look at that pumpkin. It's just starting to get its orange color, coming in a little. So I'm trying to leave it, but the vine is completely dead. You know, it's gotten so cold. There's another pumpkin hiding over there. But trying to let it get orange as we can. Leave it here for the next 2 weeks. But I am looking forward to cleaning all this up and getting this yard all completely tidied up for the season. And maybe we get a snowmobile. You know, there's a nice little track here. It goes around and comes out to the driveway. If I get a snowmobile, I'll be needing these stumps removed so I can have a nice little track to pull around the building. So when you come in, you'll pull around and then come back and park it in the driveway in front of the cabin. We'll see. I probably won't even get one, because it might come down to building the shed or getting a snowmobile, and I need a shed because I don't have enough storage in the building right now for all my stuff. So, and I need a shed before spring because we're going to put a shower stall in there, so I have a better shower system in the summer. As the summer has been pretty hard with the shower, I really need something I can just flip on and get under the water every day. So yeah, I'm going to spend a couple more minutes doing this though. And I remembered to pull you out right when I was popping it in my mouth. But there was a little teeny broccoli head there, and it was about to open up the flower, so it was done. So I just chopped that off and ate that. And then I put soil down here. And I'm hoping this thing will stay alive through a couple frosts. Maybe long enough to put a couple broccoli shoots off. If it lives through the next month and the next 3 or 4 frosts, then I might get another harvest of broccoli off of it. But yeah, that broccoli didn't do so great. Brussels sprouts are coming along, but they're not doing great either. Well, digging up a dirty old stump can be quite a pain. Pretty good exercise though, got me going. I've been at it for like less than an hour, but it is on its last few pieces of roots right there. The taproot kind of turned underground and went that way. So I'm gonna dig those up a little bit better and then put the bow saw in there and cut those, and that thing should come right out. Definitely a lot less resources than burning it out. So yeah, that went okay, I guess. This one is a maple, which they root down really deep and straight down. So it's a pain. It'll be even harder to do that than this one. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm at least gonna dig it all out and dig it back and dig under it as much as I can, but we might have to light a fire under that to get that one going. Well, at least burn it out one time so it doesn't shoot off any little trees in spring. So we don't want it to do that. We're trying to keep this yard clear of stuff like that. The moose did love the moose loves those fresh little shoots. Like when it produces, like when you cut a tree off like that, the first year it produces all those fresh shoots. The moose love those. Like everywhere I cut, the moose has come by and like eaten the tops off of them. So that's like his favorite stuff. So I'll probably cut some trees like that every year and leave them for the moose. So there's a couple patches here and there throughout the property for him of fresh shoots every year. But these ones in the yard I need to dig up. Turned into a nice day. Look at that tree slowly turning. We don't have a lot of water in the ground, so the leaf changeover is going a lot slower than it did last year. Beautiful little cabin. It's so nice when the leaves start changing. I'm gonna try to bust this thing out, finish it up, and then go work on the shed. Well, there she is, right there. She was a beast. And she's the smallest of the ones I have to take out. I mean, I'm gonna cut that one flat and that one flat and put a tabletop on that for a couple seasons. But eventually I have to pull those ones up. Hopefully it'll be dead by then. I'm gonna keep this root right here and that root kind of uncovered. That one will probably be covered, but maybe I'll mark it with something. And then next spring, they'll be dead, and I should be able to pull them out of there a lot easier. I might dig this one up and kind of cut a big chunk of it out, because this one's sticking above ground. It's gonna cause problems. I'm gonna fill the rest of it in. I found this huge worm. I don't know if you can see him. Yeah, he's right there. Right there. He was right at the root ball. So I put him back in the hole so he can go about his business. He's a big ass night crawler. Got a lot of those around here. Even in the sandy soil. It's crazy. Well, I'm gonna fill this in the rest of the way, and that's one stump down. Well, we're probably not gonna get to the shed today. I got in the groove on stump removal. Once you start grinding on something and it's going well, you know, you don't want to stop. Might not get back to it for a couple weeks. Yeah, so I'm underneath it now. So I'm gonna see if I can cut it away, but I can definitely burn it out now from there. I think I can cut it away and then we're gonna dig that one up.